This management classic has been a bestseller for over 30 years, translated into more than 40 languages, and has sold over 15 million copies worldwide. It has consistently topped the bestseller lists of major media outlets like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. The book was co-authored by Ken Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. Ken Blanchard is a globally influential management expert who owns his own consulting firm and has extensive experience in writing and public speaking, having authored several management classics. Spencer Johnson is known for writing Who Moved My Cheese? Both authors excel at explaining complex concepts in simple terms. The 1-Minute Manager distills a manager's daily responsibilities into the 1-minute management method. Jean Rumin, chairman of Hire Group, praised the book's practicality in his foreword, noting how it provides effective methods for managers. Hire's famous daily management system, with its core components of goal setting, daily review, and incentive systems, was developed based on the principles from this book. The book primarily addresses how managers should lead their subordinates. Managers typically fall into two categories: the iron-fisted type, who are strict and demanding, emphasizing results, progress, and profits, and the kind-hearted type, who are caring and democratic, but often less efficient. The authors introduced the 1-minute management method to address this challenge. First, they define management as helping people achieve good results through sincere and efficient methods while enabling self-management. The 1-minute management method consists of 3 parts. 1. 1-minute goals. 2. 1-minute praisings. 3. 1-minute reprimands. Hey, write up this marketing proposal. John, come here and prepare this month's report. These are examples of setting goals for employees, but although goals are set daily, their effectiveness varies greatly. Try this experiment in your company. Ask a manager what they think Jack is working on, then ask Jack himself. You'll likely get 2 completely different answers. The manager thinks Jack is solving one problem, while Jack believes he's addressing another entirely. There's a popular internet joke where a CEO says, "Assistant, get me some McDonald's." 30 minutes later, the assistant returns with a pin, saying, "The acquisition is complete, $4.6 billion. This joke illustrates a common management issue where employees submit work that's completely different from what was actually requested. This disconnect often occurs because managers and employees aren't aligned on objectives. Setting goals isn't as straightforward as it might seem. Problems can easily arise. So how do we avoid the boss wants fast food, employee spends billions on acquisition scenario? First, understand that goal setting isn't a one-way process where leaders simply assign tasks. It should be a collaborative effort involving leaders, subordinates, and colleagues, as reaching a mutual understanding is crucial. Simply asking, "What are your thoughts on getting lunch?" could prevent misunderstandings. Second, managers and employees must understand that a good goal consists of 3 parts: the objective itself, measurement criteria, and deadline. Many people set vague goals like "complete this PowerPoint" or "finish this copy," which is as ambiguous as "get me some food." A complete goal includes all 3 components. Using our fast food example, it should be structured like this. First, clarify the objective. Is it for lunch or dinner? Eating in or taking out? Is it for one person or a group meeting? Next, establish specific measurement criteria: 2 hamburgers and 1 hot coffee without sugar. Finally, set a deadline. Deliver within 20 minutes. Real work goals are typically more complex than ordering food. For these more complicated objectives, write each important goal on a separate page, clearly outlining the objective, measurement criteria, and deadlines. Each goal should be readable in about 1 to 2 minutes, hence the 1-minute goal. You might think, if I have 20 goals and each takes 2 minutes to read, that's half an hour just reviewing goals. This is where the 80-20 rule comes in. 80% of our success comes from 20% of our goals. A key management responsibility is working with subordinates to identify and design these crucial 20% of goals. The essence of 1-minute goals is using a single page and about a minute of time to ensure both managers and employees have a unified, clear understanding of upcoming tasks and expectations. In other words, the key to 1-minute goals isn't about how the goal is presented, but whether both parties can have a clear, shared expectation of what needs to be done. This is crucial. As we mentioned earlier, People often end up redoing work or staying late to complete tasks. While there are many reasons for this, one significant factor is the unclear expectations between supervisors and employees, where no consensus has been reached. By using tools like one-minute goals to clarify and specify what each person envisions and believes they're working on, we can reduce a lot of unnecessary waste. Once managers have such an open, transparent, and clear standard when assigning tasks to subordinates, it represents a major breakthrough in management, bringing many benefits to future management practices. For instance, employees can become self-managing. In the past, when you asked an employee to write a report, they might finish it in a day, but if you were traveling and couldn't provide feedback for 2 or 3 days, the waiting period felt endless. However, with a thoroughly discussed goal that has clear measurement standards and deadlines, they can write reports according to agreed-upon criteria, resulting in much higher quality submissions. Therefore, clear and specific one-minute goals help employees manage themselves while indirectly freeing up project managers to think about more important matters. The author believes that the first skill managers need to develop is the ability to set goals together with their subordinates. Only when you and your subordinates share common goals and unified standards can employees take efficient action. Now that you understand one-minute goals and have set them, employees will take action to complete tasks. There are only 2 possible outcomes. Either the employee completes the task, at least partially, or they don't complete it. Both are normal situations. How should we handle these 2 scenarios? This is where one-minute praises and one-minute corrections come in. One-minute praise means giving timely recognition when employees complete their assigned tasks well. Many people aren't comfortable praising employees because they believe more in the spare the rod, spoil the child philosophy, leading to overly strict treatment. Another reason people don't give praise is that they don't know how to do it effectively. It feels awkward, so they avoid it. This actually creates a significant barrier to employee growth. An employee's growth is similar to a child's development. Imagine seeing this scene in your neighborhood. A child learning to walk with their mother's support takes 2 steps and falls. The mother then walks over and slaps the child, saying, "I've never seen such a clumsy child." If you witness this, wouldn't you be shocked? You'd think the mother had lost her mind. Yet in companies, leaders and managers often behave similarly, harshly criticizing subordinates when they make mistakes, managing through criticism and blame, which is extremely detrimental to employee growth. Consider instead this scene. A child wobbles as they stand up holding the wall, and their parents excitedly exclaim, "Great job, baby." The child then tries to take a step forward but starts to wobble and is about to fall. The parents quickly helped the baby up and said, "Well done, sweetie. You're almost walking." The next day, the baby stood steady and took a few steps forward. Although it was just 2 steps, the parents were thrilled. "Wow, that's amazing. Our baby has taken their first steps." You see, as the baby gained more confidence, their walking improved, and eventually, they mastered it. What if managers adopted this same approach? Wouldn't their employees develop faster? As a manager, you should actively look for things your employees do right. Initially, they might only get the general direction right, with room for improvement in many areas. That's when you need to identify what they're doing correctly and encourage them. It's a process of small encouragements leading to small improvements, step by step. The key is providing timely feedback when employees make progress and do things right. You might think, won't praising employees for small achievements make them overconfident? They still have many areas to improve. Or you might worry, won't constant praise seem insincere? Won't it lose its meaning? These concerns are valid, but the issue isn't with praise itself, it's with how we praise. With the right technique, these problems can be solved. That's where the one-minute praise comes in. Usually, we might just say, "Good job, John," and leave it at that. But one-minute praise is different, divided into 3 parts. The first 30 seconds, a few seconds in the middle, and the last 30 seconds. Each stage requires a different approach. In the first 30 seconds, after an employee does something right, give immediate praise. Focus on 3 key elements. First, state specific facts. What exactly did you see that deserves praise? Second, express your personal feelings. How happy or pleased are you? Third, explain how their correct action positively impacts the team. For example, when John completes a report on time, don't just say, "Good job on the report, John." Instead, say, "John, this report is excellent. The data is thoroughly researched, and you took the initiative to include relevant information from international sources, making the proposal much more comprehensive. I'm really proud to have an employee like you. Your attention to detail has not only reduced the workload for your colleagues and saved time, but your approach will help the entire team move forward faster." If you were John, wouldn't this kind of praise make you feel genuinely appreciated rather than just flattered? Don't just stop at praise. The second part of the 1-minute praise requires a few seconds of silence. After giving praise, remain quiet and let the employee savor the joy of your recognition. After these few moments, move into the third part of praise, where you strike while the iron is hot and express your confidence in them to do even better. For example, after praising John, you might say, "Given your excellent work on this report, I believe we can take it even further. With this great experience under your belt, shall we create a more comprehensive cross-industry report next time?" If you were John, wouldn't this motivate you? This is the art of managerial praise. Starting with describing achievements, specific details, expressing feelings, and acknowledging their impact on others creates a comprehensive appreciation that lifts spirits. Give them a few seconds to process this, then build on it by setting higher expectations with confidence and encouragement. This energizes the whole team, just like how children thrive on parental encouragement. While the 1-minute praise method works well when employees meet their goals, we also face situations where goals aren't met. That's when we need to use 1-minute correction. When employees fall short of expectations, timely feedback for improvement is crucial. Sometimes direct criticism is necessary, but like praise, it requires skill. Managers often fall into two traps when giving criticism. The first is hesitation to criticize, feeling it causes loss of face. This leads to vague, indirect feedback that doesn't clearly communicate what needs improvement. Some managers also delay feedback, storing up issues for weeks or months before addressing them all at once, a practice that creates a terrible experience for employees. The second trap is not knowing how to criticize effectively due to lack of training. For instance, if John's report is poorly done, managers might say, "John, how could you mess this up? Can't you handle even this simple task?" When criticized this way, employees might quickly agree to make changes while internally feeling frustrated and angry. Managers need to learn proper techniques for giving criticism. The 1-minute correction, like the 1-minute praise, is divided into 3 parts. The first half-minute, a few seconds pause, and the final half-minute. The key lies in how to deliver that initial criticism effectively. Focus on actions, not the person. When criticizing an employee's work, focus on the specific actions and mistakes made. Be precise about what went wrong, express how you feel about it, and explain the potential impact on others. For example, when addressing a poorly written report, say, "John, this report is below standard, which deeply concerns me. The incomplete and inaccurate data could potentially cause significant losses for the company and damage our reputation in the industry." Notice how this approach differs from saying, "John, you're so incompetent, you can't even write a proper report." Instead, you're identifying the specific issues, stating facts, and explaining consequences. After delivering this message, pause for a few seconds. This silence allows the employee to reflect on their mistakes and process the feedback. Then move to the third part of the criticism, the final 30 seconds. Now shift your approach to focus on the person's potential. Remind them that their capabilities exceed this particular mistake. Express your continued confidence in them and encourage improvement. You might continue with, "John, I know you've always been thorough and diligent in your work. I believe you can perform better than this. I hope you'll learn from this experience and surprise us all with your next submission." What do you think? A crucial element of the 1-minute criticism is distinguishing between the person's actions and their inherent value. You must separate behavior from the individual. They're not the same thing. While the action might be wrong, the person's value remains intact. If you criticize someone's character or intelligence because of a mistake, you'll damage their confidence and create resentment. However, if you can separate the poor performance from the person's worth and frame it as a learning opportunity, you'll build their confidence and motivate them to improve. This makes your 1-minute criticism truly effective. The 1-minute manager teaches us how to be effective managers through 3 key components: 1-minute goals, 1-minute praises, and 1-minute corrections. The book's core message is that effective management requires timely and appropriate feedback. The entire 1-minute manager system is built around this principle of providing immediate, accurate feedback. The three components, goals, praise, and criticism, can be divided into two parts. First, goals establish the standard for feedback, as without goals, feedback is impossible. The second part consists of criticism and praise.